You are live on YouTube.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to those watching us on the YouTube platform. This is another meeting of the Licensing 2003 Act Subcommittee of the London Borough of Newham. I am Councillor Neil Wilson. I'm the Council's Chair of Licensing, and I'll be chairing the meeting throughout this afternoon. Firstly, I want to just do the introductions, I think, the way I tend to do this. So I'm Councillor Neil Wilson and I represent Plaistow South Ward. Councillor Jane Lofthouse, please.
Good afternoon, I'm Councillor Jane Lofthouse and I also represent Plaistow South.
And Councillor Winston Vaughan, please.
Councillor Vaughan, you're muted.
I'm so sorry about that. Councillor Winston Vaughan of Forcegate South Ward.
Thank you very much. We three councillors, sometimes referred in this meeting as members, we will be making a decision. We are assisted in that process by a legal advisor.
Daniel Moher, legal advisor.
Thank you. And the clerk, please, who will be taking minutes throughout so that we're fair to all parties.
Pauline Egan, I'm clerk to the committee today.
Thank you very much. And the presenting officer will be today?
John Chislett from Licensing, and I'm the case officer.
Thank you. And the representations have been received to make their case against the application as presently constructed. Responsible authorities have made representations, and we'll take them in the order of the bundle, and that is the Council's Commercial Environmental team. Ian, please.
Ian McConnell, Commercial Environmental Health.
And from the Metropolitan Police, and can I at this point say that the Metropolitan Police representative is having difficulty coming onto this live platform, so he's having to join us by telephone, so there may be some added complication. Connell, can you introduce yourself, please?
Connell Stoke, Metropolitan Police Licensing.
Thank you very much. There's also representation from two residents. They may join us, but we will take that into account. They're not physically present at the moment. Can the applicant please introduce himself? Mr. Patel, please. You're muted, sir.
Yeah. Is that okay now? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Amarkumar Vinubhai Patel of 22 Station Road, Manor Park, London, E125BT, has applied for a license.
Thank you very much. And your agent this afternoon, Mr. Jordan, please.
Yeah, Robert Jordan representing the applicant.
Thank you. Behind the scenes, we have a Zoom helper, but I think that's everybody else that needs to be introduced. Is that correct? Yes? So can I just then do the item? And when I refer to the bundle, that's on the printed agenda that you can see on the council's website under minutes and agendas. So item 1, declaration of interest. In accordance with the members' code of conduct, this is the time for members to declare any disclosable pecuniary interest or non-pecuniary interest that they may have in any matter being considered at this meeting having regard to the guidance attached to the agenda. Councillor Vaughan?
No interest to declare at this time, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Lofthouse?
No interest to declare.
And myself, I have no interest to declare. Now, the order of proceedings is outlined on pages 5 and 6 under agenda item 2. We've done introductions. We then take a presentation, and the licensing officer this afternoon, Mr. Chislett, will present the officer's report. Members may seek clarification of matters in that report from the presenting officer. So can the applicant and or his agent, and the responsible authorities and interested parties may seek clarification of matters within the officer's report from the presenting officer. We then move to the relevant representations, and I will take them in the order in the bundle. Members may ask questions, the applicant and or their agent can ask questions as well, and we then have the applicant presenting their case. We can ask questions of the applicant or their agent, and so can the responsible authorities, and so can the interested parties, and then you make brief closing remarks. And I think I'll leave it there because that's all the stuff about the presenting to us, and then we'll carry on with the next bit of the process when we reach that point. Is that clear, everybody? Can you just indicate, and for the benefit of those at home, I'm asking people to indicate if they've got any problems or hearing me by putting their hand up. Is everybody clear to proceed?
Yep.
Can you raise your hands, please? I'm just checking that this is working with sound as well. It's a double thing. Connell, can you still hear us all right?
Yes, very clearly.
Right. There's a bit of a delay on the line. I'm a bit worried about losing it. Right. We're now moving then to the actual substantive agenda item 3. The licensing officer, please, to present.
Thank you, Chair. Members of the Licensing Subcommittee are asked to hear and determine an application for the grant of a new premises licence for Station News 22 Station Road E12 and any valid representations that have been made. An application for a new premises licence was received by the Licensing Authority on the 10th of July this year. It was advertised at the premises and in the local newspaper, and a copy of the application is attached as Appendix A, pages 11 to 29. The application is for the supply of alcohol off sales, Monday to Sunday, 0800 hours to 2300 hours, with the premises opening and closing times, Monday to Sunday, 0600 hours to 2300 hours. Representations have been received from the Council's Commercial Environmental Health team on the licensing objectives of the prevention of public nuisance, and a copy of their letter is attached as Appendix B, page 31 to 32. The Metropolitan Police Licensing team has made representation on the licensing objectives of the prevention of crime disorder and the prevention of public nuisance, and a copy of their letter is attached as Appendix C, page 33 to 34. 2 residents have made representations on all 4 licensing objectives, and a copy of their letters and emails are attached as Appendix D, page 35 to 37, which are exempt. Where a premises lies within a community of impact zone, a CIZ, there is a rebuttable presumption that applications for a new premises licence, club certificate or variation in respect to such premises would normally be refused unless the applicant can demonstrate in their operating schedule that there will be no negative impact on one or more of the licensing objectives. At the hearing, members of the subcommittee would need to be satisfied that the applicant has demonstrated this. The community of impact of a premises can only be considered where relevant representations are made. This means that if there's no relevant representations, the application must be granted even if it's within a CIZ. Members of the subcommittee should note that each application within a CIZ needs to be considered on its own merits and that a blanket refusal cannot be made. Where a licensing authority decides to impose conditions on a licence, whether in a CIZ or not, such conditions must be appropriate and proportionate for the promotion of the licensing objectives, and conditions should be clear and unequivocal. The Secretary of State has issued guidance to licensing authorities to which they have regarding carrying out their licensing functions. Licensing authorities may only depart from the guidance if they have good reasons to do so. This premises does fall within the CIZ, and the map of the Forest Gate and Manor Park CIZ area is attached as Appendix E, page 39. This premises has not benefited from a premises in the past. Plan of the premises and the surrounding area are attached as Appendix F and G, page 41 and 45. On Thursday, the 8th of October this year, the Metropolitan Police have submitted to the Licensing Authority via Connell Stoat maps which are attached in the supplementary to the main report, which members should have a copy of. Members of the Licensing Subcommittee are asked to hear the application and determine it. That concludes the report.
Thank you very much. Now, just for clarification, it's very important, and thank you, Councillor Vaughan, for re-emphasising this point. We have a part of our agenda that is exempt. Appendix D, by virtue of paragraph 1 of the Access to Information Procedure Rules set out in the Constitution and pursuant to Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, is deemed to be exempt as the appendix contains information relating to individuals. Those individuals we are protecting in identity, and it's therefore we are exempting that from public discussion. It is obviously part of our deliberations, but it's not part of a public discourse to have that in front of us for the public. So the public interest in maintaining this exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information. Councillor Vaughan, yes? Thank you very much. Councillor Lofthouse? Yes, okay. And our legal advisor, our legal advisor, Daniel. Yes, thank you. Okay, so everybody clear on that then? Right. Questions to the presenting officer. Do we have any? While you're doing questions, can I see if we've got any questions for the presenting officer? John, would you mind putting up, please, the plan, not the plan, the premises, the CIZ map?
Yep, just bear with me 1 second. That's the only one thing I haven't got ready. I do apologise.
Right. Have you got a map or the map of the actual location?
I've got a map of the location already for you, Chair.
Let's do the map of the location first then.
So this is the map of the location. So the blue pin is the premises. This here is the Romford Road, Station Road, and that is the Blakesley Arm public house on the corner.
Yep. Okay. And it's Manor Park Station clearly to the north of the premises, to the northeast there.
That's correct.
Thank you. Everybody all right with that? Yes? Councillor Vaughan, Councillor Lofthouse?
Yep.
Thank you. And now, if you've got the CIZ one...
If you give me 1 second, Chair, I will pull that up.
It is in our bundle at page 39, but just... So again, if we move south of the railway line, John, we're looking at...
So I'm just trying to... So
that's the part, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
So this is the CIZ area here.
Yeah.
And there's
It's a
Station
funny
Road.
shaped one. It's in two halves, really, with a big, long, narrow bit along the road. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. Is everybody all right with that one? Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on then. And the first representation, please. And according to my bundle, that will be, just bear with me, the environmental team. Ian, please. Thank you.
Yeah. The Commercial Environmental Health team is making representation in respect to this application in relation to the licensing objectives of prevention of public nuisance. The premises lies in one of the council's designated cumulative impact zones as detailed in the licensing policy of March of this year. As such, there is a requirement to comprehensively demonstrate there will be no additional impact on the local area in terms of the four licensing objectives. I visited the premises on the 13th of July this year. The premises are situated on the east side of Station Road between High Street North and Manor Park Station. Nearest residential premises directly above. There's also residential premises above both neighbouring shops. There's three other premises licensed for off sales in the vicinity there. There's Hothy Wines, number 16, SS Supermarket at 63 Station Road, and Poldeck 36 Station Road. They haven't had any complaints about in the last 6 months concerning noise or antisocial behaviour directly linked to this premises. The applicant seeking a licence for off sales daily from 8 AM until 11 PM. The applicant has proposed a number of measures to prevent public nuisance, including not having deliveries between 8 AM and 9 AM, displaying notices asking customers to leave quietly and not leave litter, carrying out daily litter patrols, and not selling beers, lagers and ciders above 5.5% ABV. The applicant has also proposed not to sell single bottles or cans of beer, lager or cider. The premises is located within a cumulative impact zone, and during my visit there was evidence of street drinking by way of discarded cans and bottles in the area. Whilst the measures proposed are welcomed, I'm concerned that they do not go far enough to prevent this premises being attracted to street drinkers. If a licence is granted, the premises will be able to sell alcohol from 8 a.m. on Sundays when other premises in the area are unable to. In addition, no minimum size for spirits has been proposed. Selling a minimum of 2 cans or bottles, in my opinion, provides little obstacle to street drinkers. Thus, on behalf of the Commercial Environment Health team, I wish to make a formal representation.
Thank you. So if I'm reading your paragraphs about the other premises, we don't need to name them, but my point is that none of them are currently open till 11 at night selling alcohol.
On a Sunday, sorry.
No, I'm talking about the end time at the moment. None of them, if I've checked the other 3 premises in the location, and they're all very much cheek by jowl, because it's Station Road is not that long, but we've got this premises at 22 that's under consideration, and we've got one at 16, one at 63, and one at 36. So you can walk from one to another. None of them have got an off-sales license that goes up to 11 at night, correct?
Yeah, the first 2 they're allowed to sell till 11 p.m.
Right.
On during the weekdays.
Yes. But it's Sundays. It doesn't go.
Sundays, yeah. Yes.
At 10:30. Sorry. Now, but none of them on Sundays are open till 10.
10:30. SS Supermarket is.
Right.
And similarly Hothy.
No, in the morning now, Ian, I'm talking about.
Oh, in the morning, yeah, sorry.
In the morning, Sundays, it's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yeah.
All 3, yeah.
All 3, yes.
Yeah, that was my only question at the moment. I'll come back if my colleagues have got anything else on this. Councillor Vaughan first, please.
Yes, Ian, can I take you to your penultimate paragraph in your representation? And we as a local authority do not encourage single cans of beer to be sold to customers, but you refer to, in the penultimate line of your representation, talks about selling a minimum of 2 cans of bottles, in my opinion, provides little obstacle to street drinkers.
Yeah.
What minimum amount you think should be sold to customers?
4, I would have thought.
Yeah. Okay. That's it, Chair. Thank you.
And the minimum size of spirits? There's no mention in the schedule so far. Is this correct? Of minimum size. So, are we looking at something like? Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What would you say is the minimum size that deters street drinkers? Because I'll put the pricing then.
35 centilitres.
Thank you, Jane. Anything?
Yes, please. Quite predictably, actually. What sort of conditions do the other premises have on their sales of alcohol? Do they have those 35 centilitres and 4 cans and 5.5 or 6% alcohol?
So the first 2 don't have any sort of conditions in relation to street drinking. Those are quite old licenses from 2005. The last one, 36 Station Road, has a percentage ABV, 6% condition, a bottle marking condition, and a 35 centilitre minimum size for wines and spirits.
Thank you. Yes, I suppose it's not, with them being so close, it's not really very easy to tell whether any of those are some of the centres for street drinking. It's referred to some disturbances around. Have there been any around those?
No, there's been no complaints about any of these premises, and actually not a lot of complaints recorded on the system about street drinkers in the area. None this year, 2 last year on Station Road.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
This year is particularly unrepresentative, though, of course, because of shutdowns and lockdowns.
Yes.
There was only 2 in a more normal year, as if we can use this, for 19 for the year 2019. Yes, 2. Yeah. Okay. But that doesn't mean to say that street drinking is not attached to other issues. So, anything else? Anything else from members at this point?
No.
Councillor Vaughan, no. Councillor Lofthouse? No. Anything from the applicant or the agent in terms of questions at this point?
Not from me.
Thank you. And Mr. Patel, no? Okay. Right. Daniel, anything at this point for clarification? No. Right. Now, we've got to bear with Connell. I hope you can still hear me, Connell. Your representation now, please. Page 33 at Sequendum.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, I wish to object to an application for a new premises licence at Station News, 22 Station Road, E12 5BT, on the grounds of the prevention of crime and disorder and the prevention of public nuisance. You've heard of the proposed hours for the licensable activity and the opening hours. In Section 5 of the operating schedule, the premises are described thus: just as a convenience store. The premises are situated within a cumulative impact zone. The applicant's agent has submitted a decent set of conditions, including a maximum of 5.5 ABV for beers, lagers and ciders. Police are concerned that it doesn't include stouts. For instance, Dragon Stout and Lion Stout have high ABV, 7.5 and 8.8% respectively. So police would like stouts to be included in the wording of that condition. And not selling single cans or bottles, although police would like the committee to determine if the latter should be amended to sell either 2 or 4, and we would support Ian when he said that it should be 4. However, the agent has omitted to mention other conditions that act as a deterrent to street drinkers who congregate on the common area just up the road from the premises, leaving discarded cans and bottles behind them when they move on. This has already been covered in terms of the bottles of spirits in not less than 35 centilitres, although there isn't a commitment that the bottles of spirits should only be behind the counter and not available for self-service, which police would like. If the application is granted, police would like that to be included in a condition. Police would like to give the applicant the opportunity to attend the licensing subcommittee, demonstrate that he understands what the CIZ is, why conditions proposed on his behalf to deter street drinkers are necessary, and to demonstrate how he's going to promote the 4 licensing objectives, and for the committee to determine the outcome of this application.
Now, in addition, you gave a supplementary, which I hope everybody has seen. Before that happens, I'm allowing that, but I only do that, Connell, if everybody's seen it. Mr. Jordan, have you seen the supplementary and your client? It's a series of maps. Are you going to refer to that, Connell, or not?
Yeah, we saw the maps, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So as long as everybody's clear, just to be fair to all parties. Right. Connell, you can talk us through agenda item 4 supplementary then. Sorry.
Right, these are maps.
Sorry, I've got an interruption just a minute before you start that from the case officer. John?
Sorry, Chair, do you want those 3 maps displayed on the screen as Connell talks through them?
Yes, indeed. They're not restricted information, are they? They're the ones based on what is available from the Met database. The Metropolitan Police website. Is that the case, Connell? This is in the public.
Yeah, the data is taken from Metropolitan Police crime figures. Yeah. This is an independent website that processes them and publishes them.
Yeah. Okay, can we put them up as we talk you through them then? So
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
give us a bit of a minute to do this. Sorry, you're on the line, Connell, and John's operating, so you can't see.
I'm putting up map that's marked up as June, and then when Connell's ready, if he tells him to put up the July one, I will do that.
Right, so we're doing them in chronological order. So the June ones first, Connell.
Right. As you can see at the bottom, it lists the number of crimes for antisocial behaviour, 17, crimes of violence, 19, and crimes of public order, 3. Now, this is an area that is within a quarter of a mile radius of the postcode of the premises, so it is quite a small area. And those crimes aren't very high. But if I could just generally give an overview, these maps are really submitted to provide a context within which the DPS will be operating if the licence is granted, and really illustrates the type of problems that they may encounter.
Thank you.
So that is June. Just to say, the dark areas, the area with the red circle and the dot in is the location of the premises.
Yeah.
In the middle, and the areas, the darker blue the area is the more crime there is in that area. So you can see there is a dark blue area directly where the premises is situated.
Yeah, thank you.
The red area to the just up to the right is a crime hotspot. So the crime in this is relatively low.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, and then we'll do the next one. We'll do it by each month, Connor, if that's all right. So the July
that's fine. Yes.
The July ones,
right.
It's a similar pattern?
Yeah, as you can see, for July, there's less. There's actually the antisocial behaviour is 24, crimes of violence 10, and crimes of public order 7. But as you can see, it's a lighter blue, so which doesn't really make sense as there's more ASB cases, but anyway, that's the that's how it's presented.
Yeah.
And August again. There's the
just a second. We're just having a just wait for the August one to come up. August, just thank you, Connell. Yeah, August. Yep.
The number of cases for antisocial behaviour is 20. Crimes of violence 15, and public order 1. And again, it's a darker blue area, so it would, that indicates that there was more crime. If I could just say that the definition of antisocial behaviour, as given in the Antisocial Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014, and this is widely accepted as a definition that is used, is conduct that has caused or is likely to cause harassment, alarm or distress to any person, conduct capable of causing nuisance or annoyance to a person in relation to that person's occupation of a residential premises, or conduct capable of causing housing-related nuisance or annoyance to any person. Now, it's obviously a wide spectrum of offences that are covered. Some are classed as crime, but a lot of them are just, nuisance, which affects people. For instance, if a mother with a child might feel intimidated if there are a group of street drinkers, congregating in a particular area, something like that. So it is difficult to give it a definition, but that is the definition that is most widely accepted that I've given.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very thorough. Thank you. Any questions, Jane, at this point to the Metropolitan Police?
I would just ask, by public order, how would that be distinguished from the ASB? Is that urinating in public or what?
No, I think I think that would be classed as antisocial behaviour. I think public order is more perhaps it tends more towards the violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it tends more towards violent offences or threats of violence.
Mm.
More extreme than ASB.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But more. Would you say more intimidating? So when somebody is sort of like worse for drink and comes up to somebody else and threatening them in the face, as it were, Arnold, yeah? Violent.
Yes, that would be public order. Yes, public order. That would be an offence under the Public Order Act. Yes.
Yeah. So it's very much literally in your face activity, I think. Yeah. That's how I understood it. But how would these compare? This is only within a quarter mile, and we've got some detailed analysis here. This is, you said it's relatively low, but I still think that, in just 1 month, within a quarter of a mile of where these premises are, we've got 36, 39 in total, and, so over the year, if you have an average of 30, it's well into the 400 per year in this very small area of Manor Park, really. Yep.
Yes, that's correct, yes.
And the hotspot varies a bit, but the one in August was more to the southwest, further down High Street.
Southeast, yeah.
To the southeast.
Yeah.
But then it's not surprising sometimes that the hotspot in the warmer months is on the Wanstead Flats area, where people congregate and get in the way of all sorts of other things going on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it might be fair to say that these figures might be distorted because of the end of lockdown.
Yes.
Sort of June was the first month where lockdown was over, so that might distort the figures. Just to be fair.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Anything, Winston, at this point?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, fine.
Yeah, can I take you back to where you mentioned Section 5 of the Operation Schedule?
Oh, yes.
Right, and you mentioned that the premises is a convenience store. What is the significance of that, in your view?
Well, it's intended to just. I mean, it's intended just to give an example of what the applicant has put in. So obviously, I would assume from that sales of alcohol are not going to be the primary function of the store. That people will be buying groceries and other things. And that so it's not like premises that are solely an off license where you go to buy alcohol. This is something where you may go to buy groceries and think, oh, it would be nice to have a bottle of beer and buy beer in that way.
Well, I would gather that what you're saying there is that as a convenience store, it really should not be retailing alcohol. That's the way I understand it. Am I correct in that? No,
that's not correct. It's just a general, it's intended to give just a general overview of what the applicant has said in the application. So it's not. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be able to sell alcohol. It is a convenience store by definition means that it's a one-stop shop for people for food and groceries and household goods, and if they just wanted to buy alcohol.
Thank you very much for that. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? No.
No, not at this time.
Okay. Robert, do you have any questions of the Metropolitan Police?
No, we don't.
And Mr. Patel, nothing? No? Mr. Patel, do you have any questions? You're allowed questions. You don't have to necessarily have your agent asking the questions. You can ask questions if you have any. Yeah? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you, sorry. You need to be off mute. Can anybody hear him? I can't hear Mr. Patel.
No, he's muted. He should take himself off mute. There you go.
Mr. Patel, you're allowed to ask questions in your own right. You may not have any questions, but I need to hear whether you have any questions or not before.
No, definitely, yes.
Okay,
that's right.
You have no questions, no?
So far, it's okay. It's just yeah.
Okay, right. So
it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, you can hear everything, all right, everybody. Yes. Jane, you have another question for the Met Police?
Yes, sorry, I should have asked it before,
no,
really.
That's fine.
Yes, to what extent, Colonel, is this crime alcohol related? Do you have any figures on that or any information on that?
Unfortunately, the figures don't indicate that. The actual Met Police data, the data is collected, immediately by the police. There is an alcohol-related flag but that is not reflected in the information. We are trying to develop it so that we can get that information to include it, and also things like the times that the offences occur. But at the moment, unfortunately, I can't say.
No. Well, thank you.
Very good question. Thank you, Councillor Loftus. Good. Thank you. Okay, shall we make progress then? Is that all right, Daniel? We've done. You're okay with that? Yes. I'm just checking with our legal advisor. So then, Robert, are you going to introduce the application responses, please?
Yes, I'm going to be fairly brief. The applicant wants to mainly put the representation in himself.
Sorry, Councillor Vaughan is indicating. I'm asking the agent to now present his case, Councillor Vaughan.
You have representations from the witnesses, the residents.
Yeah, but they're not here, Councillor Vaughan. So they're not here. We just note them at this point.
Yeah, for the meeting, if you were to do that.
Yeah, fair point. So, very good procedural point from my learned friend. That there are representations from the public for those watching us on YouTube. I was going to say Facebook, on YouTube. If they were present, we would take them at this point. We're noting them at this point. Is that all right, Councillor Vaughan?
Indeed, Chair.
They will be considered. We're not dismissing anything, and both the agent and the applicant are aware of those representations. They will form part of our deliberations later on when we go into private session once we've heard everything. Is that okay? Yes?
Thank you
very much. Good point, Councillor Vaughan. Thank you. Robert, please. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yes, so on the 18th of September, having looked at the representations, the applicant proposed additional conditions that were emailed to licensing. Those additional conditions were no cans or bottles of beer, lager or cider to be sold in quantities less than 4 items. Of course, we would add stouts to that. That wouldn't be an issue. Also proposed no spirits in containers less than 35 cl should be sold, and to adjust licensing hours requested from 1000 hours to 2200 hours, Monday to Sunday. Having looked at the opening hours of the other premises, the applicant has said that his terminal hour would be 9 p.m, so he would be less than the rest or equal to the other licenses in the area. He's also proposing that he's happy to bottle mark, as the issues have been raised, bottle mark his product with the name and address of the premises. So basically the applicant wishes to do his own representation, really. I'd just like to add that the applicant has passed the APLH exam and has his DBS criminal record check. I've also enrolled him on a conflict management course, which will be passed before stocking any alcohol, should the licence be granted. Maximum of 15% of display space would be for alcohol display. I think we mentioned that in the actual plan. And it would all be further than 3 metres from the entrance of the premises, so nobody could just run in and rush out. Spirits, we should have mentioned spirits would be behind the counter, but that would be normal. So that condition that spirits behind the counter would be no issue. So I'll just let the applicant come in and make his case that he won't add to the cumulative impact of the area. So I'll hand over to Mr. Patel.
Thank you for that. Very brief, very, very nice and brief, very clear. Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Patel,
yes.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. Yeah, obviously I did listen to Metropolitan Police and other people. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, can everybody hear Mr. Patel?
Yeah.
Connell, can you hear us still? Sorry, yes, Mr. Patel, can you hear us, Connell, still?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes,
I can hear you, all of you.
Yeah.
I have been trading since 1984 at this place. And, hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, go ahead. I've been trading since 1984 in this same premises.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't counted anything much like crime, anything at all in this area. I have no incidents at all. And the couple of things which I know about street drinkers, because I've been so long here, I would refuse that people to come in the shop at all for street drinking, and I won't support this thing. And that's why I never applied the license so far, but due to the economic conditions, I have to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, my hours are less because I was opening 6 o'clock was regarding to the selling of newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I don't want to sell first thing alcohol in the morning. I want. It's only the later part of the day in the evening probably, but that even I close at 7:30 since 1984. I don't open till late at all. And there was one complaint which I read in the email was regarding the group of people drinking on the side. I know there are 3 or 4 people who are living, but they are further to me a little bit. And it only happens in the summer when they have little music and they're just on the street. They're not like a permanent street drinkers. It's just the person lives in that house and he puts some music up in his house and few people stands outside. And so far, I have never encountered these kind of things in my 35-year history so far.
Right, thank you. Yes?
I also have, even under 16 cells of National Lottery or other issues. I never had any issue. I mean, National Lottery I had since 96. They have so many times test purchasing, everything has been done. My record is totally clear so far.
Right.
And obviously, regarding the 4 objectives of the licenses, I'll make sure that I will meet all the 4 objectives of the licenses. And obviously, that's what I can say.
Right, thank you. And you have in your schedule, because if you could just move us on, in terms of the schedule, the application, it's in our bundle from page, Connell rightly described it as a convenience store. That's how you're describing it. Would you, how much, would you say that you're having to rely on alcohol sales now because of the current climate?
Current climate, about 10 to 15%.
About 10 to 15%, you think, of your sales might be alcohol? Yes? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Patel? Yeah. Okay. The next one, you said about the 4 licensing objectives. That they're on the pages 21 at Sequendum. And you're talking about staff training. Mr. Jordan has said about the need for conflict management training. Why do you think that might be necessary in the sale of alcohol?
Because once you have to know the law and see the people what they buy and do. You hear me?
You need
Hello?
to come nearer to the microphone.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We're losing you a bit, I think.
Okay.
The question was, if you were granted this license, your agent has offered up to us that you would go on conflict management. And I was asking, why do you think that might be necessary to be trained in that if you're going to sell alcohol?
Yeah, because what happened is that my agent spoke to me because I've been doing this convenience store thing, but I haven't had any experience of selling alcohol. So, that's why the agent had told me to go on this conflict management course. So at least I could refresh everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Jane, anything to the applicant at this point?
Just some clarification on the times. I didn't quite catch it was what Robert Jordan said about the times you were offering. It said 10 in the morning to 22. Yeah. I couldn't quite catch that because I got a 9 p.m. somewhere.
So I've got a 9 p.m. Was it 10 o'clock in the morning every day, Robert, and finishing time of 9 at night?
10 o'clock in the morning, and originally we offered 10 till 10 in the email to licensing on the 18th. But since then, the applicants looked at the hours of the other shops. So he said that he'll, if the license is granted, the terminal hour will be 2100 hours, because one of the shops does close at 2100 hours, which is the pole deck shop. So therefore, he'll be less than or equal to mainly less than. And obviously all a lot more conditions than the other two premises have got.
Yeah. Okay, Jane.
And that would be every day?
That would be every day? That's every day, including Sundays. That's Monday, 7 days a week.
That would be Monday to Sunday.
Yeah, every day.
And can I ask one more thing on that? Is that going to be when alcohol is going to be sold, or is it when the shop is going to be open? Or are they both the same thing?
It's open at 6 a.m. I think the applicant said he sells newspapers. I'm not too sure. Yeah. I can't remember whether he does sell newspapers. Yeah. I think he said he does. And then obviously between 6 and 10, he won't be open after 9 p.m. Between 6 and 10 a.m., it will be behind locked covers or screens, or covered behind the counter if it's behind the counter, or within a cupboard locked cabinet outside licensable hours, but covered up as well.
That's lovely, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that okay, Jane? Anything else?
Yes, I'll leave it there for the moment. That's fine. Thank you very much.
Fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
May have another one.
Winston, anything?
Yeah. Thank you. How many staff will be employed at the shop? Could you tell me, please, Mr. Patel?
Yeah, at the moment, it's I'm running in the partnership with my brother, and we are only 2 people running at the moment. And part-time, my wife comes and helps me out.
And who holds the license to sell alcohol?
I.
You do. What type of license do you have?
Now he would hold the premises license, but he hasn't obtained his. Yeah,
so he's a DPS. He's a DPS.
He would be the DPS, but he's waiting. He's passed the APLH course, and he's got his DBS check-in. So it's just a matter of applying to the council now. He's got all the prerequisites for that to be granted.
Okay, I haven't seen that on the application, see, so hence that's why I put that question.
Yeah.
Okay. So just you and your brother would be operating the store. Okay. So, and the training you mentioned in the application, you've already done the training. What about your brother? Have you heard that?
No, he hasn't done it so far.
Right. So he would need to have maybe a
personalized training. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Mr. Patel is realised his brother's got to get the personal licence as well. So there needs to be a good few personal licence holders there, really, when the premises is operating under the licence. I think he's happy with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would you be undertaking that training anytime soon? Mr. Patel? Your brother, yes.
Yeah, yes, he will, yeah.
We can book him on a course as soon as Mr. Patel instructs us to do that. We can get him on the exam within a week, really.
that would be very helpful, should he succeed in his application. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Ian, do you have any questions of the applicant or his agent?
Thank you, Chair. I don't have any questions.
And Connell, do you have any questions? I hope you can hear us all right still.
Yes, I can. Can I just, it's a condition really, referring to conditions. There's the proposals regarding the refusals book, staff training and having an incident book, which are fine, the wording for those. But there's no commitment, either one, to keep those on the premises, and secondly, to make them available to police, local authority licensing and trading standards officers upon request. I would like the applicant to agree that that wording should be added to the proposed wording in the application.
Yes,
that is in reference to page. Sorry, Robert. So because we're an open committee, I'd do the same if we were in the chamber.
Yeah,
we're
sure.
on page 21, Connell, correct? And it's paragraph.
Yes, that's correct.
1 about refusals book and about CCTV logs, and was that the one in training logs? Yes?
Paragraph 2 is the refusals book.
Yeah.
And then, further down.
Yeah.
It mentions staff training.
Staff training
paragraph
logs.
8.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then finally paragraph 13, the incident book.
Incident book. Yeah. It may have slipped off the wording, Robert. We do often have that as a standard sort of.
Yeah, we would expect that to be available for 12 months and on request. Yes, we'd expect
all
that.
the relevant parties we put in as well, because people just think it's the police, but it's for anybody who is a responsible authority under the 2003 Act.
Yeah.
So that'll include environmental health trading standards, licensing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we would expect that. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Winston, on that one.
On another point.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Connell finished. Sorry, can I just do Connell first and then I'll bring you back in? Yeah, it's all right. Connell, had you finished with anything further?
Yes, that's all. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. That was quite clear. Winston, I'm sure you're going to be clear as well, because you often are.
Well, one would hope so, Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Patel, what can you tell us about the licensing objectives?
Prevention of crime and disorder, protection of children from harm, public safety, and prevention of public nuisance.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Okay.
Thank you. Under the prevention of public nuisance, because that's what we're really concerned with.
I know,
here.
that's what it's, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's on page 22 of our bundle. The responses have been around no deliveries of alcohol between 8 at night and 9 o'clock the following day, because obviously disturbance. I live in an area myself in my part of Newham where people seem to be delivering all the time in a Barking Road, and it just seems to be, even though the council have said they should deliver. So I welcome that one. No beer, lager or cider above this 5.5, which you've agreed is to include stouts. Yeah, because people and ciders in there, because as I think we've heard, some people with these street drinkers will go and get some quite expensive stouts and lagers. Who is going to be supplying this alcohol? Who is going
Normally,
to
I rely on cash and carry, so I will buying from the warehouses.
The warehouses. Yeah. Can you tell me what any names have you got a supplier?
Normally, I go. My shopping is done in the Damecha Cash and Carry in Barking and Best Ways.
Yeah, Best Way I've heard of, and the other one.
Yeah, another is Damecha Cash and Carry.
Yeah. John, can I just check with the licensing officers? Are they on the approved list of suppliers?
And also Bookers I go to.
Yeah. You understand that we're concerned that street drinkers is one thing, but also if we give licenses, we don't want people coming to your shop with, say, a white van and offering you cheap.
No, sir.
You know where I'm going with this.
I understand that, sir.
Right. Winston, sorry, I took over your point about licensing objectives. Sorry, I just got carried away with that bit.
I think you questioned what I was thinking about, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Jane, anything? Jane, anything at this point?
I think really you have. I think you have said what you might do about street drinkers, how you might deter them or not contribute to the problem that we have with street drinkers. Would you like to expand just a little bit on that?
Yeah. See, obviously, as I have been here long enough, so I know most of it. So obviously, I don't want that kind of customer in my shop. And basically, I live above the shop as well, and my family is there with me. So these kind of things, which, obviously, I even don't like myself, so I would rather not serve them. And hopefully, because of the multi-pack selling, it will deter them as well.
Did I hear you say, Mr. Patel, you actually live above the shop?
Yes, I do. I live above the shop.
Right. And you've lived there since 1984?
1984, yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And I haven't had any issues. It's just economic circumstances regarding now. Before I used to rely on, like, as you saw, why I open 6 o'clock? Because most of the commuter used to go to in the central London, used to buy the Oyster card from me, Oyster top up and bus ticket sales. But now things have completely turned around at the moment. And obviously now if I don't diversify, then I also will have problems as well eventually, That's why. But whatever, it's like a minimum thing I can, little bit, not too much. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm only sales will be about 10 to 15%, not more than that.
Yeah. And you've got, under the prevention of public nuisance, is that all right, Jen, if I come in with this?
Fine, yes.
To that you've got, leave quietly sign to be displayed, because some people, if they're under the influence of alcohol, they may not be completely drunk, but they may be very loud. And notice to be displayed asking patrons not to litter after leaving the premises. We are awash with, as Ian and others have said to this committee on numerous occasions, the debris of cans and all the rest of it. You've offered up marking scheme, but it's the amount of litter and debris some of these people leave, whether they're street drinkers or not. And it is about alcohol has got a bit of a two-edged sword. It may be a diversification for you. So, you're going to be proactively engaged in trying to deter this. Is that what you're saying? You're going to try and deter?
Yes, I will be proactively deter them, especially. I won't stop them, as I said to you, because I have been here so long, so I got enough experience. It's only very few limited people around here. As I say, I lived with my family for 35 years without any issues so far.
Jane, anything further?
Yes, I was just noticing there that we have the daily litter patrols, which is that what you do at the moment as well?
Daily litter patrols, Mr. Patel, you do those yourself?
Daily litter patrols on your
that's right. Yeah, there is.
And you do that at the moment, do you?
Yeah.
You do it anyway?
Yeah, it's just around my area, like within my vicinity.
Yeah, we're not asking you to do the whole of Manor Park. That would be above and beyond.
Tempted to ask if you find plenty to pick up. Is there a lot of litter?
No, not a lot of litter.
Okay.
No.
Well done.
Yes,
thank you.
Right, so no further questions from the Environmental Health or Connell? No, Ian or Connell?
No, none from me.
Ian?
No, thank you, Chair.
And Daniel, have you got anything before we... Daniel?
No, thank you, Chair.
No, thank you. Okay, so it's brief summing up, Robert. If you've come before me, you'll know I emphasise the brief. It does say brief closing remarks in my agenda, and some people do, give us sort of War and Peace, Chapter 6 or something. So just brief closing remarks. You were admirably brief in your opening, so I'm sure you can be the same with your closing.
Yeah, I think the applicant said to me he wanted to put his case, so I thought I'd let him. So not all of my clients wish to speak at all, and they get a little bit nervous at hearings. So basically, no, there's nothing to add. I think we've really been through that. Just that he hasn't started the conflict management course yet, but I have emailed him the e-learning and the coursework. So that's all, just to point out he hadn't started, so he doesn't know exactly what's in that pack. Okay, that's all. I don't think there's anything else to say than what we've already said.
Right, thank you very much. Now, we will now pass a resolution. This is very important to those who are watching this process, possibly for the first time. This is an administrative hearing. My colleagues, Councillor Vaughan, Councillor Lofthouse and myself, we will make our decision after deliberating in private. So there'll be a screen come up to tell you that we're now going into a private session. This is traditional in these meetings. We exclude the press and public from that discussion. The only people we take with us are our legal advisor, for obvious reasons, because we're acting in accordance with the Licensing 2003 Act. And we have our clerk, who has been taking copious notes so that we have all the written stuff as well and what's been said in front of us. We try not to set a time limit. We're not supposed to do that anyway. We've got no predetermination on this, so we can't tell you how long we'll be out, but the screen will come up. I will now pass over to the Zoom helper to explain to the others what to do while we get this organised.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I'll be facilitating the breakout room for you shortly. Others will also be invited to join their own breakout rooms. If you could please just click to join the room that you're invited to join. Those who remain, I would invite you to please mute your microphone and switch off your camera, and a holding slide will be put up whilst the committee are in deliberation.
Okay, thank you very much. Is that clear, everybody? Yes? So we wait for the instructions. Don't press any buttons till you get those central instructions. Nisha, have we got everybody back?
I think we're just waiting for the agent.
Right. Connell, can you still hear us?
Yes, I can, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience, everybody. We are now back in public session. For the benefit of those who are watching us on the YouTube platform, we, if this was in the East Ham Chamber, as it were, we would now be letting people back in. So this is where we make our decision public. So can I ask the clerk to read out our decision, please?
Thank you, Chair. Having heard all submissions, written and oral, including those of the residents, the Licensing Subcommittee have decided to grant the application. The full written decision with reasons will be sent to the applicant with the aim of it reaching the applicant within 5 working days.
Thank you very much. There's obviously that, you know, this is a Mr. Patel, the license with the conditions that you've rightly anything, you know, that you've been in full discussion with. There's nothing new that we're putting in there, right? That will be coming to you, but I have to remind everybody that the applicant, that's yourself, the responsible authorities and interested parties may appeal against this decision to the Magistrates' Court within a period of 21 days. Is that clear, everybody? Yes. Yep. What's happening? Thank you very much. Chair. And can I just conclude by saying, because this we have to, you know, it shuts down very abruptly because of the platform and everything. Can I thank everybody for their participation, particularly Connell from the Metropolitan Police for persisting with his link. I know it's very difficult, but also everybody who was able to join us on the live platform with the screen and video. Thank you for the way you presented yourselves and the way you conducted yourselves, and thank you very much. I declare the meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The webcast and Zoom meeting will be ended for all parties simultaneously.
Thank you.